Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. I'm going to be talking about LeBron James saying how the '03 draft isn't the greatest draft of all time. At the same time, we're going to be watching, I think this is an old clip of like Melo and the Knicks going, like, this is like their 12th win in a row. First 50-win season, in the past 10 years or something like that. Whoops. First 50-win season in the past 10 years or something like that. This was back in 2013. This is going to bring back a lot of sad memories because there was one point in time when the Knicks were actually great, and then it went downhill, unsurprisingly, like always. We give Allen Houston the largest contract. It was ridiculous. Whatever. So before the game starts, LeBron James came out and said, well, he was asked about the '03 drafts being mentioned with the '84 draft and the '96 draft. '84, Karl Malone, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, etc. '96, Allen Iverson, Kobe, Steve Nash, etc. I think T-Mac was also in that draft. And oh, look at the GOAT. Look at him. I'm not talking about KD. Look at him. Oh man, I missed this era, man. Oh man, it just brings back so many memories. But when there's breaks in the game, I'm gonna be discussing about that. And yeah, so anyway, let's watch. Oh, that's light work for Melo. You already know how he does. Yeah, one. Yeah, that's why KD is so unguardable because of that. Because there's really nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it. Splash. Splash. Light. Uh-oh, KD. Dunkathon. It's the Dunkathon. Light work. That's easy right there. Anyway, so LeBron came out and said he doesn't believe the '03 draft is the greatest era ever. He said just to be mentioned with '84 and '96, is amazing, but he doesn't believe it's the greatest draft ever. And in my mind, I'm like, are you crazy? First of all, you have the greatest player of all time in that draft, okay, in LeBron James. Now, if you disagree with that, fine, the second greatest player of all time. Come on, okay? And then on top of that, oh, this freaking AC just turned on. I don't know how to freaking turn it off. I know how to turn it off. It just automatically turns on. You have LeBron James, the greatest player of all time to most people. To some people, he's the second greatest, whatever. Okay? So you have a top 2 player ever. You have Darko Milicic, who was an absolute beast, who ruined Melo's chances because if Melo went to Detroit, he would have won like 3 championships. Anyway, on a serious note, you have LeBron. You have Melo, okay, one of the greatest scorers in NBA history, one of the greatest players in NBA history, a top 40 player of all time. I mean, come on. Okay, you have Dwayne Wade. Chris Bosh came before D. Wade. 2-time champion, one of the most versatile big men of all time, one of the greatest big men of all time, one of the greatest scoring big men of all time, a shooter. He can spread the floor, he can take you off the dribble, he can face up, he can put his back to the basket, he could literally do everything, and he was a lockdown defender. He took the third option in order to win 2 NBA championships. How many superstars could say they did that? I mean, come on. How many superstar players can say, look, I'm not going to take the back seat. I'll take the back-to-back seat. Really? How many superstars can sit there and say that? Okay? Then you have Dwayne Wade, who is a top 20 player of all time. In my opinion, I have him somewhere around 10 to 15. Okay? He's a 3-time champion, finals MVP, numerous-time All-Star, one of the most athletic players I've ever seen in my entire life, one of the best finishers in his prime, a lockdown defender. He was literally lockdown defender, lockdown versatile scorer, unstoppable. He was incredible. He won a championship before LeBron even made the playoffs, I believe. Or the same year LeBron's first playoff appearance. Melo made the playoffs his first year in the league, and he did it until he came to the Knicks. For 10 straight years, he didn't miss the playoffs. But you have D. Wade, okay? So right there, you have 4 of the top, 40 players of all time. Come on. I mean, let's look at '96. Allen Iverson, top 10, top 15 player ever, no doubt. An absolute beast. You have Kobe Bryant, the 3rd best player in the world. I mean, in NBA history, in my opinion, splash. You seen that Melo shot? You know? So you have that, and then, oh, and by the way, would you guys prefer, like, highlights like this instead of, like, GIFs? So that way, I can make sure I'm showing a different video every single time. So, for example, depending on who I'm talking about, or depending on what I'm talking about, it'll be there. The only reason why I'm recording this is because Melo's in this gameplay. Next time, if I talk about the OT draft, maybe it'll be Chris Bosh highlights, or D Wade, or LeBron, or Darko. I mean, come on, Darko, or Josh Howard. You know, a lot of people don't even remember Josh Howard of the Dallas Mavericks. But you know, you have 4 of the top 50 players of all time in that draft. In 03. 96, you have Allen Iverson, you have Kobe Bryant. I'm pretty sure T-Mac was in there as well. I think Paul Pierce. You know, 95, 6, and 7, there are so many star players, I get them all mixed up. But I do know Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, and Kobe. I'm not too sure about T-Mac or Paul Pierce, but I'm pretty sure they're around. I think Vince Carter was 97 with Paul Pierce. Whatever, let's just focus on those 4. Ray Allen, one of the second greatest shooter of all time. In his prime, before he became just a spot-up shooter, this dude was unguardable. He was averaging 25 with his eyes closed, pulling up from 40 and 50, light, dunking on people, 360 layups, windmills, between the legs. He was ridiculous. He was like a shorter version of Tracy McGrady, just with a better jump shot. Ridiculous. And T-Mac had a great jump shot. That just shows you how good, Ray Allen's shot was. Allen Iverson, the greatest handles of all time, the most iconic basketball player ever. He changed everything. The headband, the wristband, the tattoos, the bringing hip-hop into basketball. He changed everything. So, who else did we have? Sorry, I like freaking froze on my screen, so I had to pause it or whatever, but, you know, I mean, come on. What else could you ask for from Allen Iverson? He went to the finals by himself. He had defenders, but no offensive help. You know, so what else could you ask for? Kobe Bryant, again, the 3rd greatest basketball player of all time. 5 NBA championships, 7 final appearances in 10 freaking years. 10 years. He went 7 times. Come on, man. That's out of this world, man. You know? And the reason why I'm talking away is because yesterday when I was screaming about that Melo video, I lost my voice a lot. Okay, and then you have Steve Nash, top 5 point guard in NBA history. I mean, are you serious? 2-time MVP. He's ridiculous. Greatest passer I've ever seen. 50, 40, 90 with his eyes closed. Ridiculous, man. Okay, so 96, incredible. 84, Karl Malone, the Mailman, Charles Barkley, MJ. I mean, come on. Do we even have to explain it? We get it. MJ is 1st or 2nd greatest player of all time, depending on who you're talking to. Charles Barkley, incredible. You know, the Mailman, incredible. I mean, come on. You know, so they're all great. And, you know, it's hard not to be biased. And I can see where LeBron was coming from when he was like, oh, you know, I don't want to, you know, just to be mentioned with them is an honor. I get it, whatever. Do you guys see what I'm seeing on screen? Carmelo Anthony, last 4 games, 50, 40, 41, 34. I miss this era. I do, man. It breaks my heart, man. Well, at least we got, you know, I mean, we still have Melo because they didn't trade him. And we still have Porzingis, which is good, but I don't know. It just makes you depressed on what we could have been. You know, I miss those days. Look. So, 84, let me pause this. 84, 96, 03, all great. 97 was great too. But 84, 96, and 03, incredible draft classes. I mean, pretty much those 3 draft classes probably contain, say, 4, 7, 11 to 12 out of the top 25 to 11 of the top 40 players in NBA history. That's crazy. Okay, that's incredible. But me being biased the way I am, LeBron's the greatest ever. D Wade is top 10 to top 15. Melo's top 25 to top 30. And Chris Bosh is top 40 to top 50. So you have 4 superstar Hall of Famers. Okay? I just, part of me just wants to say LeBron is the reason why the draft class is so great, but then you also have Melo, Wade, and Bosh. But then when you look at Steve Nash, Ray Allen, Kobe, Allen Iverson, and then Karl Malone, MJ, Charles, you're like, how can you choose? But me being biased, you guys already know what I'm going to say. LeBron's wrong. The 03 draft class is the greatest draft class in NBA history. Without a doubt. I mean, it's dominated the longest for sure. I mean, this is about to be 15 years since the draft. And you still have LeBron dominating, Melo still a top player, D Wade still in the league, Bosh is retired, but are you serious? You still have 2 of the 15 years. 2 players are still top players in the world. Come on. Yeah, I mean, what class has lasted longer than that? And while Melo is on the decline, how long is LeBron going to last? So I understand if you say 96 is better or 84, but I choose 03. Benny Man Steve, I'm out of here. Peace.